Hey everyone, it's Kanga here, and today I'll be giving you what is, in my opinion, a pretty accurate tier list of where all the champions and Apex Legends are right now. I do want to point out before I actually start putting characters in the list that I'm far from the best Apex player myself, as you can obviously tell from the gameplay in the background. And on top of that, all this is my opinion, and if you disagree, I'd love to hear why in the comments, as maybe you've seen something in one of the characters that I've just looked over. But yeah, I'll have some timestamps up on screen now of where I talk about each individual hero if you're just here to hear about your favorite. And another thing is that, especially in public matches, obviously any hero can be top tier if you know what you're doing with them. And this video is more of just who I think is a little better than the rest right now, obviously being the start of Season 4 and all that. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's start off with Bangalore. Now, Bangalore is probably my least played champion out of all the free ones that you get when you first start the game, but I personally think she'd fit somewhere around the middle, so I put her in the B tier. My main reasoning for this is that her ultimate is very hard to get really good value out of unless it's in a really specific situation where the enemies can't get away from it. And while her passive is really good, it's outclassed by the passives of almost all the other champions in the game as far as I'm concerned. The smoke grenade is easily the best part about her as far as I'm concerned, and it can work well with certain playstyles, potentially close down areas while you're looting or healing or reviving or anything along those lines. But yeah, that's why I put Bangalore towards the higher end of the B tier, because I think her whole kit just isn't that good. She's a mid tier hero as far as I'm concerned. Next up we have Bloodhound, and I'm going to get right to it because I'm pretty sure everyone already knows that I'm going to put him in the C tier. While his ultimate can be good to get the jump on an enemy and his passive can provide really useful information, I feel like he's always going to be the weaker link of the team. His tactical and ultimate both give away his location to the enemy, and if you aren't aware that they were already there, you can very quickly lose the element of surprise. So again, with that being said, I'm just going to put Bloodhound in the C tier. Not too much to say here, as I'm pretty sure everyone knows that Bloodhound is one of the weaker champions in the game. The next champion I'll be putting on this list is Caustic. Now, Caustic is a tough one because right now in public games he's quite strong, as he can really easily counter Revenant's ultimate by putting a gas canister on it and just obviously instantly kill anyone who uses it. But for the most part, his canisters are really easy to avoid with a little bit of game sense, and while they can lock down areas if you position them well, bad positioning can lead to them just getting shot down from far away and enemies just pushing in. His ultimate is pretty good in certain situations and amazing indoors, but when it's used out in the open it loses all of its value pretty much immediately unless you throw it perfectly onto the enemies. So keeping that in mind is basically why I'm going to be putting Caustic alongside Bangalore in the B tier. The fourth champion I'm going to take a look at is Crypto, and I'm just going to put him pretty low. In fact, I'm just going to put him alongside Bloodhound in the C tier. This is because his entire kit revolves around his drone, which is really easy to shoot out, even for players with bad aim such as myself. If you don't know what I mean by this, his ultimate as EMP needs to be activated from the drone. His tactical ability is the drone itself and has a massively long cooldown on it. And his passive ability is seeing enemies with the drone, which his entire team can see, and obviously you have to see them with the drone to do that. So if you take out his drone, he has no abilities, he's just a player with a gun. But even when you do manage to activate your EMP with Crypto, without good communication from your teammates, it can be hard to get good value out of it while the enemies are low on shields, because obviously you have to all push in right before they can shield up again. But yeah, that's basically why Crypto is not a good place right now as far as I'm concerned, and it's just not the best champion. Next up is Gibraltar. Now, Gibraltar is actually really strong right now, despite his large hitbox. Due to the fact that defensive champions 10% less damage right now and that he has his gun shield, he's actually able to stand his ground against even some of the faster and smaller characters and take them down pretty easily. His ultimate and shield both got buffs at the start of last season, which threw him towards the top end of the meta. What changed is that his ultimate got a 33% reduction in cooldown time from 4.5 minutes to just 3, and his shield now can be thrown further, but more importantly when standing under it, he is able to use 25% faster heals just like Lifeline is, which is great for when you're caught in a tight situation. With all that put together, I'm going to go ahead and put Gibraltar at the S tier, as he's one of the strongest heroes in the game right now. Next we have Lifeline, the only healer or support class in the game, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, Lifeline is relatively strong right now. A Lifeline with the golden helmet is amazing, and if you also feed her ultimate accelerants to be getting multiple care packages very quickly, as obviously the helmet helps her get her ultimates and tacticals faster. On top of this, her passive of using healing items faster and the revive shield is made even stronger when you put a golden backpack on her. With this backpack, you can revive teammates with the shield 25% faster, and on top of this, they spawn with 50% shield and 75 health. Obviously, she also has her health drone, which can be used to save your other medical supplies after a fight, or to quickly heal up to tank another hit or two to be able to close the fight off. Having said that, I'm going to put Lifeline at A tier, as to get the most value out of her, you need to have a little bit of luck on your side, obviously with the golden helmet and backpack. Now, closing up the C tier, we have Mirage. This is because while all of his abilities with decoys may fool a new player or people in lower ranks, they're easy to work around once you've played a few games and know how his kit works. His ultimate can be a good get out of jail free card, but that tells enemies that you are at low health or generally not in a good position if you are forced to use it. His passive can be useful in a pinch if you need that little bit of stealth to get around corners when downed or to get to your teammates in a shield or something. And his standalone decoy once again can be useful, but only really situationally. One such example of this would be throwing a decoy through or past the doorway to see where exactly inside the room an enemy is. But yeah, to be honest, his kit is really situational and in general pretty weak compared to the rest of the roster. Octane is definitely one of the weaker characters in the roster as far as I'm concerned, as he doesn't really provide much to his team. His ultimate is almost always outclassed by Pathfinders, which has more range, and if you're skilled with Pathfinder's grapple, you get more distance than what you get from Octane's stim. Octane's passive and healing health over time is one of the best in the game by my opinion, as far as passives go that is, and it works well with his stim. This also brings him up to the B tier for me, because I just love the fact that he can heal over time without having to use syringes now. Although it is obviously a very low amount of heals, I think it's pretty good, but he's definitely towards the bottom end of B tier. He's not that good. Aside from Revenant, Pathfinder is probably my favourite champion in the game right now, as well as one of the strongest. His passive ability using a servo beacon to reveal the next circle's location is some of the most powerful knowledge in the game, and can make making decisions just so much easier. His ultimate ability can give you and your teammates easy high ground over everyone else, and it's one of the easiest and fastest ways to escape from the zone that's always chasing you. His grappling hook is an incredible tool of mobility, and if you use it well, there's nothing the enemy can do as he flies through the air raining bullets down on them. It's just so hard to hit you, it's so easy for you to hit them with the high ground. It's also just good for movement in general. Again, like his ultimate, it's great for quickly traversing across the map. Pathfinder is undoubtedly an S tier champion in my mind, and I think at least he's the strongest in the game. So, Revenant is Apex's newest champion, obviously. I think for that reason alone, he's pretty strong right now, as if you can quickly master his abilities, your enemies might still not know what they're going up against. People might not know, for example, how to play around his ultimate yet, or what to do if they're hit by his silence ability. Speaking of his silence ability, it's great for easy kills, especially against targets like a Wraith or Pathfinder, who are not only really strong right now, but obviously because their abilities rely on mobility to get away, he can shut them down and you can just get them before they get their abilities back up. His passive is mainly good if you're trying to sneak around near people and trying to get the jump on them, and obviously if there's a high wall to climb over. And I've actually found that the increase in distance you can climb walls over is actually really noticeable. His ultimate is really powerful if you place it well and hidden from any enemies. However, it's important to keep an eye on not only where it is, so that you know if enemies are camping it, but you also need to look at the timer on it in the bottom right and the radius of it, which shows up on the ground as a blue border. If you don't pay attention to these things, you can easily just end up running into the enemy and just dying because you won't be aware that the effect has run out. I've had this happen to myself a lot, and I've been playing a lot of Revenant, but it's pretty sucky if you're just not paying attention and you die to that. But for these reasons alone, I think Revenant is A tier right now. He's like not quite S tier, and he'd probably be B tier, but again, the fact that he's brand new and people still don't know how he works makes him pretty good. Next up is Wattson. She's obviously incredibly good at closing down certain areas, even better than Caustic, as with their ultimate she's also able to prevent enemies from throwing in grenades and similar items, although this can be shut down with Crypto's EMP, so you need to be careful with that. Ultimate Accelerants fully charge your ultimate, so you and your team can quickly choose an area to claim as your own. She's pretty much completely useless in the open, to be honest, as her electric fences, you can just like walk straight around and there's no point putting them in the open. Ultimate is kind of useful in the open, really situationally. For example, against an ultimate from Gibraltar or Bangalore, if you put it down, it'll take out those missiles. Otherwise, you can run away from it because both its ultimates are kind of weak as far as I'm concerned. But with that in mind, I'll be putting Wattson as an A tier champion, but you probably want to be sticking indoors or areas with few entrances to make the most out of her. Otherwise, she's pretty weak. Last but definitely not least, we have Wraith. While not as strong as she used to be, she's still one of the best champions in the game in my mind. Her passive is incredibly useful, as you can know when enemies are nearby before they even shoot, and by relaying this information onto your teammates, you can quickly turn the advantage of the fight to your favour before it even starts. Her tactical ability allows you to freely retreat for a few seconds without taking damage, however it is pretty easy to fall, so you want to be careful when using it. The portal can be good to quickly get in and out of fights for both you and your teammates, and you can also camp it to get some pretty easy kills if that's how you want to play. With that in mind, I'm going to put Wraith as an S tier hero, although she's probably a little worse than Pathfinder and Gibraltar. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video, and if you managed to make it this far, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out my content, as I really do appreciate it, and I put a lot of effort into this video specifically. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see some more content like this, as I have a few more ideas for epic videos planned. And having said that, comment down below anything else you want to see, as I love to know and hear what you guys want me to do. But yeah, that'll do it for now, and I'll see you all next time. See ya.